Merry Christmas, America. Or should I say Joyeux Noël. I hope you all had a wonderful time with your families, eating food that wasn't prepared by Jonathan Shelley. Welcome to the Red Hot Mess Conference, episode 12. We made it, folks. We are officially circling the drain, but the water is warm and the view is spectacular. This is our final broadcast of 2025. I'm your host, Lionel Keros. This week we have essays that read like confessions, math that refuses to add up, and a man named Ben who is wishing people a Merry Christmas while practically foaming at the mouth. Let's unwrap the dysfunction. Speaking of unwrapping gifts you can't afford, let's talk about Zsuzsanna Anderson. She just dropped another essay, and folks, it is a mouthful. She posted a multi-page defense of her travel habits, claiming, "I am not rich nor poor," while insisting her posts about first-class upgrades are not an advertisement and not envy. Let's look at this analytically. This isn't confidence. It's compulsive justification. People who are actually secure don't write preemptive rebuttals to imagined critics. They don't publish financial spreadsheets disguised as testimonies. When you spend 5 paragraphs explaining what something isn't, it isn't bragging. It isn't unbiblical. It's because the accusation has already landed. She writes, "Our members would rather we cope than quit the ministry." That is the tell. That isn't leadership language. That is permission seeking. She is arguing inward, trying to keep the donors calm while trying to keep herself from noticing the dissonance. She claims she needs luxury travel to compensate for the stress of the ministry. Look, Zsuzsanna, no one asked for a TED Talk on airline miles. They asked implicitly, "Why does this feel so wrong?" And by the way, nice try on the math. She claims business class pods cost $8,000, ma'am. I'm European. I know what it costs to go home. Flights to Germany are $600. You aren't saving $8,000. You're just narrating your own indulgence. That post isn't a show of power. It's leakage. But Zsuzsanna isn't the only one leaking frustration this week. Let's check in on Ben Naim. Now, Ben usually spends his time praying for the death of random people, but he decided to get into the holiday spirit by completely losing his mind. He went on a rampage against a woman named Gander, calling her a psycho witch and a stupid pig. He moved on to the next commenter, calling them a hag and an imbecile, and then he ended the comment with, "Merry Christmas." Ben, is the Merry Christmas in the room with us right now? Is it medication time? He also reminded us that vengeance belongs to him. You know, Ben, looking at the scoreboard, I think the Lord has already taken vengeance. He's just taking it on the NIFB. Let's review the 25 stats. Gay sons in crop tops. A cruise guy dead in a freak accident that looked like a literal smite, making national news but only getting 2-in-1 views, moving to the worst part of Phoenix. Meth heads in the parking lot. Every single adult son estranged, and a wife who vacations as far away from you as possible. Ben, if you're praying for the Lord's revenge, you might want to stop. It looks like he's answering the prayer and you're the target. If Ben is the side dish of Psychosis, Jonathan Shelley is the main course. Pastor Shelley decided to attack YouTuber Andrew Loza this week, calling him a psycho who openly blasphemes Christ. Andrew Loza, the guy who archives your videos so the rest of us don't have to give you views. That's not blasphemy, Jonathan. That's a public service. And coming from you, this is the man who said, "I'd break fellowship with Steven Anderson," and then 8 hours later said, "I never said that." You have no right to call anyone a hypocrite. The only thing you should be lecturing us on is how to bake anti-Israel cookies, which apparently was the only way to get your record-breaking attendance. Actually, let's look at those records for a second, because I think Shelley is using a different set of numbers than the rest of the planet. He posted that they broke their Sunday night record with 235 people, Jonathan. Earlier this year, you boasted about a record of 285 people. So let me get this straight. You lost 50 people when that counts as a record? Is the record for fastest rate of decline? Because if so, congratulations, you are winning. It's a classic case of projection 101, which brings us to the head projectionist himself, Steven Anderson, just posted a video titled, "Bad People Advise Divorce." Folks, this is the same man who back in March supported a single mom and advised her to divorce her husband simply because Stephen didn't like the guy. So Stephen, who are you talking about here? Are you calling yourself a bad person? Or is this just another confession aimed at that mirror in your basement? In closing, this concludes the news for the year. This week we learned that Stephen Anderson was finally right about one thing. They clearly aren't gay enough, because I have never seen a group of people this miserable during Christmas. I want to thank you all for watching the Red Hot Mess Conference. In 2025, we laughed, we cried, mostly from laughing, and we watched a movement collapse in real time. I'm Lionel Keros. Have a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2026.